Hello students, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture we are going to discuss about the basic concepts of digital communication. The first is objective. Objective of today's lecture is to, after completing the course, the students will be able to have an overall view about the communication system and its simplified block diagram. Then we are going to discuss the main concepts of communication system. So basically, what is a communication? Communication is transferring a data reliably from one point to the another. Data could be anything. It can be a voice, video, codes, etc. It is important to receive the same information that was sent from the transmission. So that is the main motive of doing a perfect communication. Whatever data is sent by the transmitter is received by the receiver. There are communication systems. It is nothing but a system that allows transfer of information reliably. So this is a basic block diagram of a typical communication system. The first block is your information source. Then we are having a transmitter. After transmitter, the signal is given to the channel and then to the receiver, and finally is an information sink. So this two blocks comes at the transmitter end and these two blocks comes at the receiver end. The information source is nothing but the source which generates the information. This information can be anything. If it is in the form of an analog or it can be in form of a digital, then that signal is given to the transmitter. Transmitter converts the given information into a format which is suitable for transmitting the signal over the channel. Then the signal is passed over the channel. Channel can be a wired media or a wireless media through which the signal is transferred from a transmitter end to the receiver. Now the signal is received at the receiver. At the receiver end, we are converting the modulated information into its actual format, and finally we are having an information sink. This is the end of a receiver. If we take an example, if my information source is a mic, from the mic the information is generated, it is given to the transmitter. Transmitter will convert the information into a suitable format which is suitable for transferring the signal. Means it is doing modulation, all those things it will do, and then it is given to the channel. Over the channel the signal is transferred, and at the receiver we are doing a demodulation function, and after that, as a signal is generated from a mic, at the receiver end we are having a speaker from where we are receiving the signal. This is the explanation of the same. The first is your information source, the source of a data. Data could be human voice, data storage devices, CD, video, etc. There are two types of data types. First one is your discrete and a continuous. Discrete is a finite set of outcomes, that is a digital in a signature. Continuous, infinite set of outcomes, that is analog in a nature. Transmitter converts the source data into the suitable format for the transmission through the signal processing. Data form depends on the channel. Channel is a physical media through which we are transferring the signal, the media where the signal propagates till arriving to the receiver. Physical mediums, there is a channel. There are either wired media or a wireless media. Types of wired media are the twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, and the optical fibers. Wireless medias are air, vacuum, and water. Physical channels have another important limitations, which is a noise. The noise is a parameter which gets added in the channel of the signal. Receiver, extracting the message or the code in a receiving signal. Okay. So this is what is a basic block diagram of a communication system. Now this is the block diagram for the digital communication. When we are transferring the signal in format of a digital, then we are using this typical format of a block diagram. So what this block diagram consists of? The first block is your information source. Information source can be anything which generates the information. Now in case of digital communication, the information source is always said to be in format of a digital. If your input signal is in form of an analog, here we are using one analog to digital converter is used to convert the data into digital format. And if your data is already in digital format, then no need to use that analog to digital converter. Now from that, the signal is given to the source encoder. After source encoder, we are having a channel encoder. After channel encoder, the signal is given to the modulator, which will perform modulation of our signal, and then the signal is passed through the channel. After channel, at the receiver end, we are having a demodulated section or a detector. After that, we are having a channel decoder, which is exactly replica of a channel encoder. and then we are having a source decoder. After source decoder, the signal which was transmitted is recovered back at the receiver end. So this is the block diagram of a digital communication system. Now we will discuss each and every block in a detail. The first block is your source encoder. Now what is the job of a source encoder? It represents the transmitted data more efficiently and remove redundant information. Now how it is going to do this? Here example is given to you, right versus right. Now both thing, if you pronounce, it will going to be, you just read it out to be same thing. So that is a job of a source encoder. It will remove the bits which are redundant, or the speech signal frequency and the human ear is of 20 kilohertz. There are two types of source encoding. First one is the lossless data compression, that is encoding. Here the data can be recovered without any missing information. Lossy data compression encoding, smaller size of a data removed in encoding cannot be recovered again. So these two are the types of the source encoding. Second block is your channel encoder. Now what is the job of a channel encoder? To control the noise and to detect and correct the error that can occur in the transmitted data due to the noise. So this is the job of using a channel encoder. Then we are having a modulator. Represent the data in the form to make it compatible with the channel carrier signal. So carrier signal, that is nothing but a higher frequency signal. So this is the job of a modulator. Now after modulator, the signal is passed through the channels, and channels are of two types, either wired or a wireless medium. Now at the receiver end, the first block is a demodulator. It removes the carrier signals and reverse the process of a modulator. After that, the next block is your channel decoder. Detects and corrects the error in the signal gain from the channel. And finally we are having a source decoder. Decompress the data into its original format. So this is a job of a source decoder. Now why should we go for a digital communication? So this all are the reason. First one is the ease of regeneration. Now the pulses which we are transferring in case of digital communications are in format of a zeros and ones. So the generation or the regeneration of this data is very easy. That is the first need of using digital communication. And easy to use repeaters. Second one is a noise immunity. Better noise handling when using repeater that repeats the original signal. Easy to differentiate between the values either 0 or 1. So as the values are either 0 or 1, it is very easy to differentiate that data. Therefore the noise immunity of the digital communication is good compared to that of analog communication. Ease of transmission. Why? Because it is having a less error, the transmission is faster, and the better productivity. Ease of multiplexing. Transmitting several signals simultaneously is possible in case of a digital communication. Use of modern technology. Ease of encryption, security and privacy guarantee, and the handles most of the encrypted data techniques. So these all are the benefits of using digital communication. That's why nowadays we are moving towards the digital communication. What are the disadvantages? So it is having some of the disadvantages. The major disadvantage of digital communication is that it requires a greater transmission bandwidth or the channel bandwidth to communicate the same information in the digital format as compared to the analog format is the first disadvantage. Another disadvantage of digital communication is that digital detection requires system synchronization, whereas analog signal generally have no such requirement. So these two are the disadvantages of using a digital communication. Now moving towards the next point, that is a data communication term. So these three are the basic terminology which are used in a data communication or in your digital communication. The first one is your data, second one is a signal, and third one is a transmission. So what is a data? It is an entity that convey meaning or the information. Now in this case what we are doing now, the basic source of information is called as a data. It can be an analog data or a digital data. Then the data is transferred into an electrical or an electromagnetic representation, and that is called as a signals. And then those signals we are transferring, and that is called as a transmission. The transmission is nothing but the communication of a data by the propagation and the processing of a signal. So these three are the basic terminology which are used in a data communication. Now we're going to discuss each one of them in detail. The first one is the information representation. The communication system converts the information into electrical, electromagnetic or optical signal appropriate for the transmission medium. Analog system converts analog message into the signal that can propagate through the channel. Digital system converts bits or the symbols into the signals. Computer naturally generates the information as a character or a bits. Most information can be converted into the bits. Analog signal converted by the bits by sampling and the quantization. Then this is a time domain concept. The first is in time domain. We are having an analog signal, digital signal, periodic signal and the aperiodic signal. So if you are representing any signal in a time domain, the first one is your time domain is what representation of a signal in a time domain where your x-axis represents the time. So under that your first signal is an analog signal. The signal which varies in a smooth way over a period of a time is an analog signal. Digital signal maintain a constant level when changes to another constant level. Periodic signal is a signal whose pattern represents repeated over a period of a time. A periodic signal is a signal whose pattern does not repeat over a period of a time. This is your analog and a digital signal. So as per the definition, analog signal is a continuous signal. So if you see here, the nature of a signal is continuous over a time, and this is a representation of a digital signal. So digital signal represents some level of a value, or the nature of the signal is not continuous, it is a discrete. So if you observe over here, over a period of a time the signal is high, here the signal is high, here the signal is high, and for rest period the signal is represented by the zero signal. So this is your digital signal. Now next one is a frequency domain concept. So what is the representation of a frequency domain of a signal in a frequency domain? The signals are made up of many frequencies, components such as sine wave. Fourier analysis can show that any signal is made up of a components of a sine wave, and we can plot the signal in a frequency domain by considering the x-axis as a frequency. So this example of a signal is given where it is represented in a frequency domain. Here f of t indicates the signal representation in a frequency domain. Now here I have just taken one example. If you go for addition of a frequency component, so this is your first signal, this one is your second signal. First signal component is having a value of a f. It is represented by sine 2 ft. Next one is represented by 1/3 sine 2 f3 ft. So these two are the signals. If you add these two signals, we are getting the third signal, that is nothing but the addition of this two signals. So this is just for an information ki how we are representing the signals in a frequency domain, or what are the frequency components. Now moving back to our actual topic. So first we are going to discuss about the three parameters. First one is the data, then the signals, and third one is the transmission. Now if you are representing the data, the data can be an audio signal or a video. Data can be in the format of an analog signal or analog data and a digital data. So in analog we are having two types of data. First one is your audio signal. So what is the range of audio signal frequency? The frequency range of audio signal is from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. That is your speech signal. Easily converted into an electromagnetic signal is one of its characteristics. Varying volume converted by varying voltages. So if you vary the input voltage, it will show you change in a varying volume. Can limit frequency range for a voice channel to 300 to 3400 Hz. So this is all about the audio signals. So where we are using a audio signal in a telephonic conversion, we are transferring the data which is in format of only audio signal is the first type of data. Second one is a video signal. So video signal is a signal which consists of pictures. So here I have just given you some examples of a picture signal. So in USA, the video signal is represented by 438 lines per frame at frame per second, having 525 lines but 42 loss during vertical retrace. 525 lines into 30 scan is equals to 15750 lines per second. So this is a representation of a video signal in case of a USA. Maximum frequency if line alternates black and white. Horizontal resolution is about 450 lines given 225 cycles on a wave is 52.5 microseconds. So this is all about a video signal or the video data. And next type of data is a digital data. So digital data is generated by the computer and it has a two DC components, that is a ones and zero. Bandwidth depends on the data rate. So here I have just shown you with the help of a computer we are generating the data, and that data is in format of a digital. Then about the signals. So up till now what we come to know, we are having a data that are of the two types. First is analog data or a digital data. Similarly, in signals, we are having two types of signal. First one is your analog signal and your digital signal. The analog signal represent the data with a continuously varying electromagnetic wave. So if you are representing the signal in a form of a analog signal, it is a continuously varying electromagnetic wave. So here one representation is given. If you are having a input data that is in format of an analog, and second one, your input data is in format of a digital data, and you are transferring the data using an analog signal. So what we are doing, so for analog data to transfer over analog signal, the example is given as a telephone. No need to do any sort of conversion, you can directly transfer the data. But if your data is in digital format and the signal which we are using is an analog format, in that case we have to use one modem. So here the example is given, the data is in digital format and the signal which we are using for transferring that digital data is an analog. So we need to convert the signal by using a modem. Modem stands for modulator demodulator. This is the first type of signal. Second one is for digital signal. The digital signal is a representation of a data with a sequence of voltage pulses. So here I have taken again two types of signal. First one is if my input signal is in analog format, and second one if my input data is in digital data. So if your input data is an analog signal and we are transferring that using one digital signal platform, what we are doing, we need to convert the data by using a codec. And if your data is in digital format and the signal is also in a digital signal, we are using a digital transceiver so that the data can be transferred over the digital signals. So here one representation is shown where it will show you relation between the data, signal and the transmission mode. So first table is a representation of a data in the signal. If your data is an analog data and your signal is an analog signal, so there are two alternatives, that is a signal occupy the same spectrum as the analog data. Analog data are encoded to occupy a different portion of a spectrum. That is a condition. If your data is analog format and the technique which is used for signaling is a digital, so analog data are encoded using a codec to proceed a digital bit stream is a condition. If your input data is in digital format and we are using the transmission mode as an analog signal, what we have to do, digital data are encoded using a modem to produce an analog signal. If your input data is in digital format and the signaling which we are using is digital, so there are again two alternatives. Signal consists of two voltage levels to represent the two binary values. Digital data are encoded to produce a digital signal with desired properties. So this is all about the relation between the data and the signal. Same we are using for the treatment of a signal, that is whether we are using an analog transmission or a digital transmission. So if your data is in, if your signal, see the data is converted into the signal and then the signal is transferred over the transmission media. So what is the condition if my signal is analog and signal is digital and the mode of transmission is analog and the digital? So if your signal is analog and the transmission mode is analog, so in this case what we are doing is propagated through the amplifier. Same treatment whether the signal is used to represent analog data or the digital data. If my signal is analog and the digital transmission we are using, assume that the analog signal represents digital data. Signal is propagated through the repeaters. At each repeater, digital data are converted from inbound signal to use to generate a new analog outbound signal. Second condition is if my signal is digital and analog transmission is there, so this type of techniques is not used. We are not transferring a digital data or digital signal over a analog transmission mode. And second condition is digital signal over a digital transmission. Digital signal represents a stream of ones and zero which may represent digital data or may be an encoding of analog signal. Signal is propagated through repeater. At each repeater, streams of ones and zeros is recovered from the inbound signal and used to generate a new digital outbound signal. Then what are the advantages of digital signals? Digital signals are cheaper, less susceptible to the noise. Security and the privacy is the main advantage of using digital signal. Integration, same treatment for analog and as well digital data. Then some of the transmission terminology. So this all are the terminology which are concerned with the transmission of a data. So for transmission, data transmission occurs between transmitter and the receiver via some media. So the medias are of two types, guided media or an unguided media. Guided media is nothing but your wired media, where the signal is passed through a guided media. So the examples are twisted pair cable, coaxial cable and optical fiber. Unguided media are wireless media. So the example is air, water and the vacuum. We are going to discuss about this particular topic in our next lectures. Then the transmission terminologies. So we are having three types of transmission terminology. First one is the direct link, point to point and the multi-point. Direct link means no intermediate devices are used. The signal is transferred directly from transmitter to the receiver. Point to point. So point to point is again a direct link, but in this case only two devices share the link. And third one is a multi-point. More than two devices share the link is an example of a multi-point transmission. Next type of transmission terminology is a simplex, half duplex and the full duplex. So it depends upon the direction of a transmitter. So in simplex it is a one directional, means here we are only transmitting the transmitter transmit the receiver, the transmitter transmit the signal and the receiver only receive the signal. So it is in one way of communication. Example is a television. Half duplex, either direction but only one way at a time, means either the transmitter will transmit the data or the receiver. In this case we are not using transmitter and receivers, here we are having transceivers, means the device act as a transmitter and as a receiver, but one at a time. So the example is a police radio, and last one is a full duplex, that is a trans receivers but both parallelly. So the example is a telephone where we can transfer the data or where we can talk as well as receive or as well as listen the data. So this is the full duplex type of communication. Thank you for listening.